Thank you for being here. My name is Shea, as Todd mentioned. I did start at IBM. Actually, most of my career I spent up at IBM Research and did take a year over at Delphi Automotive. But I am back now in Boca and love working on the innovation agenda here. And I've really enjoyed taking this first quarter, and it's been amazing. My project was the Swoosh cycling tracker. So my goal of developing this application was really more as a learning experience, end-to-end learning experience of really taking what I've learned from this course and sort of playing it back step by step. And I will just say up front, this did meet that objective. The application is really after the ride analysis. This is really meant that after a cyclist completes a route, one is just to be able to look back at that route, look at the route points, and actually sort of see how you've done on that particular day. There's a lot of things going into a ride that it takes. Secondly, though, and this is more personal goal, I wanted to help do facilitation of cue sheets. So if you cycle and you cycle in an area, you get to know it. Sometimes you want to share that ride out on the web with people. Now, what I really want to do in the second phase of this project is have the phone collect the data when you do that, when you're routing out the thing. And then second, you'll be able to render the data and actually generate the list of attributes about that route. And that's kind of the overall goal of the project and why I was doing it. So I just said with Web 1, it's just really a web front end. The goal of this is really to do this real time on the phone. So I did not spend time that much on the form input. I really wanted to do the guts of the back-to-back. The approach was really using a front end of React, built some of the technology API node expressed in the center, you'll see. And then we use a non-SQL SQL database as the back end. So what this looks like for now is this was a mock-up early of the screen. What you see is a start and stop institutes, and that's really, for me, a route is really a start point and an end point. And then what I want to do is render that on the map and then start reading back, grabbing from, in this case, a Google API attributes about that route point. In this case, I chose an address. And like I said, the goal of this really is to be having a front end not be this form, but essentially an application that really runs in your pocket or on your bike. So as I just said, I should have went to this one when I was talking about it, is the front end was your form input, and pretty much the JSON sequence of format is what we used. Like I said, the API is built in Express and Node, and now we're posting it to a Firestore non-SQL SPL. And then when we're finished, we can then grab it back and then display it on the front end web. Later on, we can do that on your phone. Okay, so we now have, this is not a chart, this is actually the front end web running. And what you see here, I've rendered a few data points. And so what I want to show you is I'm going to take a data point here and enter it. And here you can see I'll enter it manually for now. And for now, since this is a demonstration, I'm going to just basically consider the route, the endpoint and the start point being the same for now, because I'm just entering another point along the route. Now remember, in a ride, if you're riding continuously, then essentially the endpoint of a segment is the start point of the next route. So this is actually fine to do it this way. And like I said, as any good demo, I realized you're going to submit that. And then, so it created 0.8, and it now you can see on the point that, but the point here is you see, as I do this ride, I have now a collection of different data points that I've traveled, and then a sequence of the addresses. So that's one of the attributes I pulled. So really, that's kind of what my goal was. I kind of accomplished what I wanted to achieve, was the fact that by going through this, it was an end-to-end. My simple goal was to take data from the front end, go through, massage it, get it through the API, do the posting, gets to the database, get it back rendered, and have the same database entry route point that I entered be the one that gets rendered on the map. And I did achieve that. So I was happy about that, but it was a tremendous learning experience. Learning and having it work the first time, you learn something. Learning and having not worked the first time, you learn a lot. And I've learned a lot in these 2 weeks, but I'll welcome it for comments, critiques, accolades or other things and questions.